Hello everyone, James here on the XRP Headline channel. There's yet another strong indication that the SEC's appeal in the Ripple lawsuit and Ripple's cross-appeal might soon be dropped or settled. It's as close to a sure thing as you can get. Here's the headline from the Wall Street Journal. SEC ousts top litigator who battled crypto giants. And who are they talking about? None other than Jorge Tenrero. Now let's just say he's not exactly my favorite person. The arguments he made during the case completely absurd, in my opinion. I can't believe anyone could genuinely stand behind them.
I've been trading crypto successfully for over 380 days, consistently closing every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $29,000 in profits by copying my trades. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in the profile description and start copying my trades for free today.
And if he did, well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. This guy, as far as I'm concerned, showed zero regard for the financial well-being of everyday people like you. He didn't care who got hurt along the way. And to me, that's the exact opposite of someone you'd want advocating for fairness. Interestingly, Tenrero got a promotion in late 2024, only to have it stripped away. Now, let's just say things are looking up, and it's about time. With how the election unfolded, one thing is clear. As XRP holders, we're winning. Sure, the entire crypto space has reasons to celebrate, but for XRP enthusiasts like us, this moment feels extra sweet. After everything we've endured, seeing headlines like this is a real morale booster. It's like a warm cup of validation for the soul. Quick disclaimer, I'm no financial expert. Seriously, don't make any financial moves based on what I say here. I'm just a crypto enthusiast sharing thoughts for fun on YouTube. Now, back to the point. Attorney Deaton had some fascinating comments about Jorge Tenrero, the lead attorney who, let's be real, made things pretty rough for us XRP holders for a while. I'll touch on that in a bit, but first, take this in. We've never been in a stronger position as XRP holders. Just look at this headline from CoinView. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hails big deal for U.S. crypto market. Yesterday, I mentioned a press conference featuring David Sachs, the White House's so-called crypto czar. Working directly under President Trump, Sachs made it clear he's as pro-crypto as they come. Yesterday's press conference was about as optimistic as expected with the new administration now steering the ship. But let's be real, there wasn't any earth-shattering news. Sure, a couple of larger headlines surfaced, but at least one of them dropped before the conference even happened. So, no explosive announcements, no dramatic twists. Some Bitcoin maximalists were holding their breath for talk of a strategic Bitcoin reserve or something big, but they were left disappointed. Bitcoin was only mentioned when directly asked, which ruffled a few feathers. The new leader seems more about supporting crypto as a whole, aiming for a level playing field rather than picking sides. While some hoped for bigger fireworks, I found myself more focused on the steady progress being made. No mind-blowing moments here, but the positive direction is undeniable. Honestly, it's been sinking in for a while. This isn't a flash in the pan. Ever since Trump's win, it's been clear where things are headed, and now we're watching promises turn into action. Brad Garlinghouse shared some big thoughts on social media platform X last night about the press conference, and it's worth paying attention. He pointed out that having the chairs of Senate Banking, House Financial Services, Senate AG, and House AG, alongside the crypto czar, publicly commit to passing crypto legislation is a huge milestone, something we've never seen before. While Garlinghouse admitted it aligned with his expectations, he emphasized how significant this move is for the future of crypto clarity. It's a big deal, as he put it, and he wasn't disappointed. What's really catching eyes, though, is David Sachs, Trump's crypto czar, jumping into the conversation. With his 1.2 million followers, Sachs kept it simple, responding with a bullseye emoji. That's it. But for those in the know, it speaks volumes. Garlinghouse's connection to Trump or his administration seems stronger than ever. It's incredible to see how far things have come. There have been conversations at the highest levels of government about XRP potentially being part of a national digital asset stockpile. Donald Trump, for example, is reportedly aware of XRP and supports the idea of a level playing field in the digital asset space. Interestingly, if there's going to be any bias, it could lean toward US-made coins, which might benefit XRP. While opinions differ on whether this makes sense, as an XRP holder, I wouldn't complain. After years of challenges, it's remarkable to witness key government figures aligning with Brad Garlinghouse's vision for a level playing field. And on top of that, seeing Jorge Tenrero reassigned from his previous role in the SEC's Ripple and Coinbase cases to the IT department feels like a turning point. The Wall Street Journal reports that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has reassigned Jorge Tenrero, the former deputy chief of its crypto assets and cyber unit, to the agency's Computer Systems Management Department. Tenrero, who has been with the SEC for over 11 years, initially joined as an enforcement lawyer before taking on a leadership role in the Crypto Enforcement Division from October 2022 to November 2024, according to his LinkedIn profile. Tenrero played a key role in several high-profile SEC enforcement cases against major crypto firms, including Ripple and Coinbase. His name is likely familiar to those who have followed these cases closely, given the significant impact of his work in the space. The reassignment comes amid reports of the SEC scaling back its crypto enforcement unit as the agency adopts a less confrontational approach toward the crypto industry. This shift is linked to broader changes in regulatory priorities following President Donald Trump's return to office in 2025. Attorney Bill Morgan of the XRP community also commented on this development in a December 3, 2024 post. The SEC has promoted its lead attorney from the SEC v. Ripple case, Jorge Tenrero, to Chief Litigation Counsel. Well, good for him. He shared the news on December 3, 2024, and reposted it today, joking about how it's the shortest time in the role ever. Looks like he was only in the position for about 2 months. Honestly, I can't help but feel a little pleased about this. Things really seem to be shifting in the crypto space. Just yesterday, Cointelegraph reported that the SEC is scaling back its crypto enforcement unit. Another report mentioned the SEC is evaluating retroactive relief for past coin offerings. And even more recently, there's news about how the SEC's proposed token relief could impact crypto firms. The SEC's handling of crypto regulation has frustrated many, and it seems like a shift is finally underway for those who don't align with the pro-crypto movement. If you're not on board with a pro-crypto perspective, your chances of being involved in crypto-related efforts or litigation at the SEC might be slim. From the top of the government, starting with Trump's administration, there's been growing support for crypto-friendly policies. It's becoming clear, if you're not aligned with that direction, you're going to face challenges. Thankfully, this shift seems to be taking root. In other news, the CFTC's acting chair recently announced that the agency is moving away from regulation by enforcement. For years, many in the crypto community felt gaslit, being told that regulation by enforcement wasn't a real thing, yet it was an undeniable reality. While this approach still lingers, it's now winding down, a welcome change for those in the industry who've been advocating for clearer, fairer guidelines. Looking back, Attorney John Deaton highlighted this issue in a December post, noting Jorge Tenrero's appointment as Chief Litigation Counsel at the SEC. Tenrero, along with SEC Chair Gary Gensler, seems to reflect the same mindset and approach toward crypto regulation. These developments show just how deeply entrenched certain priorities have been at the SEC. But as the landscape evolves, we could be entering a more transparent and balanced regulatory environment for the crypto space. Jorge Tenrero misled a federal judge by claiming I shouldn't be appointed as amicus counsel for XRP holders in the Ripple case. He told Judge Torres I had threatened physical violence against SEC staff. That's how low this guy will go, folks. His so-called evidence of my violence is a post I made on social media, which I'll show you right now. It's on your screen. Here's what I wrote on March 12, 2021. There's only one way to deal with a bully. Punch that MF in his face. I'm up at 3 a.m. for a reason, bitch. See you soon. I tagged the SEC in that post. It's fiery, sure, and I've shared this post on my channel before because I love it. It's raw and passionate. Fire in the belly is what it's all about, and this post shows it. But let me clarify what really happened. Shortly after posting that, I filed a motion to intervene into the Ripple case, representing a group of 12,600 XRP holders. These people were so fed up with the SEC's bogus, bad faith allegations against XRP, they were willing to step in as co-defendants. That's right. XRP holders essentially said, sue us too so we can have a say in this case. That Punch in the face I referred to wasn't literal, and Tenrero knew it. I was talking about filing the motion to intervene. Think about it. Before this, no non-family member had ever filed a motion to intervene as a defendant in an SEC enforcement case, let alone a putative class of defendants. That initial 12,600 XRP holders has now grown to over 75,000. When I filed the motion, I knew Judge Torres wouldn't allow intervention, especially not as defendants, and definitely not for a putative class of defendants. I also knew she wouldn't force the SEC to sue the 6 XRP holders named in the filing, one of whom is my daughter. But my goal with this unique motion wasn't just to intervene, it was to highlight how absurdly broad and sweeping the allegations in the SEC's complaint were. I hoped that, while she would likely deny the motion, she might appoint me as amicus counsel with participatory rights, and that's exactly what happened. In her ruling on my motion, Judge Torres noted that something like this had never been done before. She also acknowledged that if my claims about the complaint being overbroad and far-fetched were accurate, I could still address them as amicus counsel. Even though the SEC officially encourages the filing of amicus briefs, Jorge Tenrero objected to XRP holders filing one. Ironically, these are the very people the SEC claims to be protecting from Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. To make matters worse, later in the case, Tenrero asked Judge Torres to block me from further participation. And what was his evidence? A post I had made. So, let me pause here to say, not only is Jorge Tenrero an arrogant prick, but he's also a petty and immature one. Let's call it what it is. Sure, you could argue my post wasn't the most professional thing I've ever written. I'll admit that. It might have even been a little crass. But to stand before a federal judge and claim I was threatening physical harm to SEC personnel, fully aware that it related to the motion to intervene, is ridiculous and tells you everything you need to know about Jorge Tenrero. Honestly, he doesn't behave like someone cut out for high-stakes litigation. If I had actually threatened anyone, Judge Torres would have taken it seriously, and I would have faced consequences. But clearly she didn't buy Jorge's nonsense. She didn't believe for a second that I posed a threat or that Jorge believed his own accusations. Judge Torres wasn't falling for any of that garbage. The best part for me, not only did Judge Torres completely ignore Jorge's request to kick me off the case, but in her summary judgment decision, she cited and relied on the nearly 4,000 affidavits I submitted from XRP holders. She mentioned my amicus brief and even referred to my work on the library case dealing with secondary market transactions of tokens. Honestly, there are two kinds of lawyers in the world, trial lawyers and everyone else. And I've got to say, I don't think someone with Jorge's prima donna, borderline childlike personality is cut out for high-profile litigation. Hopefully, Paul Atkins feels the same way. That post really hits the nail on the head. It sums up just how frustrating it was dealing with Jorge Tenrero. For years we had to put up with his nonsense, and let me tell you, the arguments he made were as irrational as they come. He didn't care if his approach left people financially ruined. He truly didn't. If he'd had his way, it would have been devastating for so many of us. But thankfully, justice prevailed. Now, Jorge's out. He lost his promotion, his upgrade, his moment in the spotlight. Last I heard, he's been shuffled off to the IT department, doing who knows what. Honestly, I don't see a real future for him at the SEC, especially now that the organization is leaning pro-crypto. It's hard to imagine him doing a total 180 on his stance. Time will tell, I suppose. In the meantime, we're in a good spot. I really believe those appeals will be a thing of the past soon enough. But hey, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any big buying or selling decisions just because I might be right.